important it is to keep track of what you're doing when you're in business for yourself. I think that is probably the biggest thing that I have with my clients when they come in and I'm like, okay, well, how many miles did you drive for your business this year? And they're like, well, I don't know, a few hundred, a few thousand. And you're really selling yourself short when you're in business for yourself that you're not keeping track of these things, because you're not having to pay, most generally, if you're a sole proprietorship, it's saving you the self-employment tax, which is 15%, and probably at least a minimum of 15% income tax, 30%. Right now, the standard mileage rate for 2008 is 50.5 cents a mile. So you figure that out. If you drive 100 miles or 200 miles, 200 miles is $100 roughly, right? And then you take 30% off, that just saved you $30 in taxes for keeping track of that. All you that are in business that are here tonight, this is a business meeting that you're coming to. It's a tax write-off. You keep track of your mileage, how far it was to get here. And those are just important little things that people just don't think about. You have your office based in your home. You run down to Office Max and get a printer cartridge. That's a business trip. You're going to pick up supplies for your business, and keeping track of that printer cartridge receipt. People, oh yeah, I spent some on office supplies, but I really don't know how much. I tell people, if you're not an organized person, get yourself a manila envelope, sit it someplace in your house where right when you come in the door, and when you come in, get it in your pocket or your purse or whatever, and get those receipts out and throw them in there. So they're all in the same place. Even if you're questioning whether or not it's tax deductible, I'm sure that whoever helps you out with your taxes can clear that up when it comes time to do it. But it's better to have it than to not. And I think the other thing that I would really just like to strive to let people think about is when you do something and there may be a tax consequence, talk to your tax preparer before you do it, not afterwards. I can tell you the worst one I ever had was 2 years ago. I had a gentleman that he decided to take early retirement from his job, and he was going to go back to school. And he had bought a new house. He was going to do some work on that, and that's what he was going to do. So he took out all his retirement, paid his house off with the money, so had none of it left, and then just drops his taxes off at my office thinking there would be no implication about this. Well, first of all, he took the money out early before he was 59 and a half, had to pay the 10% penalty. And then when he had taken the money, he told him to take the taxes out. Now, I know some people that I heard here work for different, finance companies, and it's not their job to know how much tax they're supposed to take out, right? So they took out 10% federal tax, no state tax. He owed about $40,000 when he came in to see me. And he honestly about had a heart attack because he didn't have any of that money. He thought, well, they took all the tax out. What do you mean I owe money, And had he honestly came and seen me before he did that, we could have made some decisions to help him, even if he would have took half out in 1 year and half out in the next year, to split that up a little bit, There's so many things people can do to help you before you do it, If you're going to sell a rental property, or you're going to sell a house, or you're going to sell some stock, you need to talk to someone about this before you do it, I just can't stress how important that is. And also, the last thing I just wanted to say is, I know a lot of people today with TurboTax out there do their taxes themselves, and that's great. One thing I could suggest, though, at least every 3 to 4 years, that you go to somebody and get a checkup. I can tell you, 2 weeks ago on a Friday, I had 2 new clients that came in that had both used TurboTax last year to do their taxes. The one lady, I ended up getting her $1,400 back by amending her last year's return, and the other lady, I got her $2,900 back by amending her last year's return. And had they not come to see me, that money, the IRS was not going to call them up and say, hello, you didn't take this child tax deduction you could have took, But people can help you if you go and see them, and a lot of places now, even for a small fee, review what you did the year before, And I even know like HR Block does that now. Hey, you can go in there and you'll prepare your this year's and look at your last year's. You know, I'm not saying that's where you should go, but you know, but I can't stress enough, if you've got a business, it's like, you know, I know how to change the oil in my car. I've done it before. But when it comes down to how much time it takes me to go get the oil, go get the filter, change the oil in my car, find some place to put the oil after I get done with it, and then I save $20, you know? Was it worth $20 all that time? And a lot of times going to get your taxes prepared by a professional may cost you a few $100s if you have a business. But if they can save you a few $1,000s and give you some tips and help you to become more accountable, because you know that when you come in and see me, I'm going to say, hey, what about your mileage? You need to be keeping better track of it, you know? So that's just really important to have someone, you know, that has your back. Just like if you want a retirement plan, that you're going to go talk to somebody who takes care of those kind of things, or insurance, or, you know, whatever it is, that you want a professional. I think it was Donald Trump that said one time, it's not what you know, it's who you know. And I think that's just really important. I think that's it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.